Hello, Aries. We're going to see kind of what's going on with you guys. These are general readings, so I just knocked something over. So take what works, and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But let's see what the cards have to say for you. Okay, guys, so I'm an Aries as well, and unfortunately this situation resonates with me a lot, but we're going to get into it because I'm sure I'm not the only one out here who can resonate with this. Now, we have, for what the basis of this reading is about, we have the Five of Swords reverse, and that's kind of clarified by the Nine of Pentacles reverse and the Five of Wands. Then we have what's currently the energies is what your current energies are is the Four of Swords reverse and the Three of Cups, and what's coming in for you is the Nine of Swords reverse with the Six of Pentacles. Your challenge regarding this situation is the Two of Pentacles reversed, Judgment, the High Priestess, and the Chariot, and what's recommended is the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this situation, I feel like this, I don't want to say it's a mess. A lot of times these situations are a mess though. But I kind of feel like this situation has been something that, I don't want to say it's almost been like a battle. I think it's something that's been going on for a long time. It could be a friendship. It could be anything in your life, any kind of situation that you might feel like you've been a little bit taken advantage of from one point or another. You know, maybe you even contributed to some of the mess in your own ways here and there. But I think it's a situation where you're kind of, I don't want to say you're finally like at the point where you're realizing like you can't do it anymore. You might, you know, you kind of tried. For good or bad, you may have tried. You may have tried to fight the good fight, and you're just a little bit, yes, the dog is making noises. You might just be a little bit kind of like, I don't want to say ready to let go, but ready to kind of just like abandon ship. So the Five of Swords in reverse is about, you know, it could be about trying to make amends with somebody. You know, maybe people didn't act in the best interest regarding something or a situation. It wasn't quite fair 100%. Maybe one side was a little bit messier than the other side. But it could be a card of deciding to try to make amends or, you know, ease tensions, you know, release things, you know, move on. But I think with the Nine of Pentacles here in reverse and the Five of Sticks, I kind of feel like, I don't want to say this might have been a little bit of a codependent situation, but it could have been somebody that was very, very important in your life. And it could be romantic, friend, lover, husband, whoever, you know, whoever, whatever, or even a situation that you're involved in. It could have been something that I feel like there might have been a little bit of a back and forth going with it for a while. Maybe it got a little messy. Maybe it wasn't fully messy on your end, but maybe you contributed a little to the mess here and there, you know, sprinkle it in as we do sometimes. But I think it was a situation where you felt that you needed this person in your life, or you needed this, whatever this was in your life. Like it was something that you couldn't be independent from, or the thought of being independent from it kind of left you feeling a little empty, a little, I don't want to say fearful, because I don't mean fearful, but just a little like sad, you know. Maybe it was somebody you thought would be in your life for the rest of your life. You know, you grow old and go into the nursing home together, you know. But I think this has just been nothing but kind of conflict, you know, and competition. There's been a lot of this, but I feel like with this combined here, I kind of feel like you might be ready to you're realizing that that this situation has really, I don't want to say brought nothing but conflict into your life, but it's at the point where it's just too much conflict. There's too much either competition or just too messy. You're at the point you might be realizing that you might be overly dependent on if this person, how they feel, if they're friends with you, or if they're in your life as a relationship, or however it might be. I think you're starting to realize that you're putting your value and your, I don't want to say self-respect, but the way you're doing in the hands of somebody else, where it's really you. You know, you shouldn't have to do that. But sometimes we have friends or family or whoever or things in our life that we determine how well we're doing through, like, okay, is my relationship with this person going well? I'm going to have a good day today because it's going well, but I'm not going to have a good day today if it's not going well, type of thing. That's how I mean. It might be a little bit codependent. You might feel like you need this person or this situation in your life, but I think you're at the point with this Five of Swords where I kind of feel like you're just really assessing it, and at the point that either you're determining either it's going to work, you know, or you're going to walk away. I really feel with the Five of Swords reversed with all this, you're gaining your power back in a way, but you're doing it where it's like, either we're going to continue this BS and we're going to start a new path, you know, let bygones be bygones, or I'm moving forward because I don't have time for this merry-go-round anymore. So that's what I'm kind of getting for this, what the basis of this is. Now, but in your current energies with the Four of Swords, I think you're not really taking a break. I think like you might be mentally burnt out from this. I really feel like your mind, whatever this is, I think is a little upsetting in a sense, or you're thinking about it a lot, because with, you know, the Five of Swords reversed, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, you know, the Five of Wands, like it's a lot of like kind of, I just feel like there's a lot of like thinking about this, you know, trying to figure out the best way forward with this. But I think the Three of Cups here is really saying that it's indicating that, because it's clarifying the Four of Swords, that you're thinking about some type of friendship, relationship, or something in your immediate community. Now, when I say your immediate circle, this could even be coworkers. Sometimes we spend more time with coworkers than we do with our own family or friends. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't necessarily have to just be, you know, your husband, your wife, your partner, whoever, the dog, the cat, you know, your children or your friends. It could just even be something with coworkers or people in your community, even your neighbor or something is kind of like, you know, giving you a little drama or whatever. So, but I think you're spending a lot of time, I don't want to say even reminiscing about maybe the good times that you guys used to have, because that's what I'm kind of getting here. I think you might be overly thinking about the good times, and maybe that's why part of you wants to reconcile some of this. Maybe I think you're realizing that you I don't want to say you invest too much, but your self-approval or self-worth or self-identity is very connected to whoever, whatever this is, but it's not really bringing you anything but drama and conflict. But I think you're at the point where you almost like want to still give it another chance. I feel like this is a situation you've probably given it a hell of a lot of chances, you know, because you don't want to walk away from it. But, you know, because sometimes things work out, you know, sometimes you have friends, family, whatever, and, you know, stupid shit happens, and then, okay, you know, we'll be fine again. We can move on. Let bygones be bygones, whatever. You know, everybody has a moment here and there. But I feel like this situation is a constant moment, you know? And there's a point where it's like, this is really ridiculous and completely unnecessary. And what the hell are we doing here if this is the way it's going to be all the time? So I think that you have this going in your mind. You're not really resting because of this. I think you might be reminiscing a little bit about the way things used to be when they were good with this person or this situation. But I feel like it's a little bit of a cycle that it's always maybe coming back to the same crap. So that's what I'm getting in your current energies, is that you might be burning yourself out about thinking about the situation a little bit. But what's coming in for you with the Nine of Swords reverse and the Six of Pentacles, I really feel like, I kind of feel like you're going to be, I don't want to say putting this to bed fully. I think you might still be entertaining this. I still think that you might be dealing with this somewhat, but I do think some of the anxieties and the fears or whatever are going to be dissipating. I think you might be releasing some of the repetitive thought patterns that I feel like is going with the Four of Swords currently in reverse, like the overthinking a little bit. I think you might be, I don't want to say seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, however that light might look for you, whether you're going to give it a second chance or you're going to say bye-bye. Bye, Felicia, type of stuff, you know? But I think what's coming in for you is a little bit like releasing some of this anxiety, these repetitive thoughts, and this kind of like doom and gloom thinking. And I think with the Six of Pentacles, you're going to be almost like more in control of not only the way you're thinking, but how you're reacting and giving to the situation. I feel like the Six of Pentacles, this person, I don't want to say they're putting themselves first, but this is the way I see this card. They're putting themselves first, but they are willing to give what they can consciously and reasonably to anything, any specific thing. But at the end of the day, if they don't have enough for themselves, they're not going to do it. So I think that it's a very good mindset and very good, even in the practical, like your time or whatever, to put yourself first regarding whatever this mess is, and give what you can, but don't overgive. Because I feel like some of you might have been a little bit, like with the Nine of Pentacles here, you might have been a little bit too, I don't want to say generous. It doesn't even need to be financially generous, but it could even just be emotionally generous. It could just be just even being there for somebody, you know, giving a little bit too much of yourself, maybe sharing too much information because you felt like you had a connection with somebody and you felt like you can trust them, but maybe it's just brought you nothing but, you know, strife and misery and suffering and pestilence and whatever, the plague, whatever it is, you know, we could get a little dramatic over here. But so I just think that this is saying that you're going to actually be more balanced, which is good. You're going to be stopping maybe some of the negative thought patterns, being upset a little bit. You're going to be moving into a little bit more of a calmer mental and practical aspect of your life regarding this. Because I don't think necessarily this is something you're going to be able to cut right out. A lot of times these things linger, you know, they kind of like float with us. But now, your challenge regarding this is the, hold on. I think my second audio is not recording. So the first half of this is going to be noisy. Hold on a second, guys. How the hell did I do that? Hold on. Give me a second. I want to make at least the second half of this sound at least decent. Okay, I'm back. You know, sometimes when I was looking at it, I thought it was recording, but you know, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Sometimes I troll myself. It is whatever it is. Hopefully the first audio is okay, but that's why it doesn't matter. Anyway, your challenge regarding this situation is the Two of Pentacles reverse, the Judgment, the High Priestess, and the Chariot. Now, the Two of Pentacles is saying in reverse that your challenge is to keep this thing balanced. I feel like you might be a little bit unbalanced still regarding this, because I feel like you have been a little unbalanced and codependent with this, and it's going to be hard for you now to, you know, even get to the Six of Pentacles mindset where you're creating new habits and behaviors and patterns, because it's very easy to get into or slip back into like repetitive patterns because it's normal for us, it's comfortable, even if it's messy and we don't like it. Sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. So I think that switching out the patterns, if it's thoughts, how you're doing things, whatever it is going to be a little bit of a challenge to maybe even reprioritize certain things in your life. Like maybe this person, situation, person, place, or thing, we'll call it, used to take up certain amounts of time for you, and now you have to reshuffle your time. You have to now, maybe you could fill that time with something else, or you have to get used to not allocating that time to this situation, this thing, person, place, or thing, whatever it is. So that could be a little bit of a challenge to be like, okay, I used to, you know, call this person or deal with this person every day, you know, at this time or whatever. Now I'm not going to do it. I'm going to kind of take some time away from that. I'm going to let that sit a minute. What am I going to do now with my extra time or something like that? You know, how am I going to deal with it going forward? How am I going to kind of figure this out type of thing, you know, or have an exit strategy if you need like a major exit strategy. Anyway, but you also have Judgment, which your challenge is also kind of doing the things that are better for yourself, like your highest good. Judgment is about, I call it the card of becoming a zombie, you know, because you were a person at once, or the person that now is a zombie, they were people at once, and then they became zombies. So they now have elevated to a different state of being. And the things that used to bother them or they were worried about as humans, they don't give a damn about anymore because they've elevated to zombie status. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like they have different interests, they have different priorities. So it's about kind of leveling up or leveling into a new, but it's supposed to be for your highest good. Is becoming a zombie for your highest good? It depends on who you talk to. But this is really about, you know, you prioritizing yourself and doing the things that are going to be better for you spiritually, emotionally, and just even your soul, you know, kind of leveling up to becoming a better, well-rounded person in a sense. You know, what we should all kind of strive for, those type of things. The High Priestess is also about kind of trusting your intuition, knowing that you might not know everything, you might not know all the facts or everything like specifically, but you need to trust yourself, you need to trust your intuition. And if you have that little nagging thought that's like beep 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 beep, you got to listen to that sometimes. You know, sometimes it's hard to know if that's just like a fear and anxiety, or if that actually is like intuition, like beep, 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 trying to tell you something. So I get that that could be tricky for some of us, because it's sure as hell tricky for me at times. But it's definitely about kind of trusting yourself as well, you know? And then the Chariot is all about kind of moving forward, knowing that you are going to get to your destination. You're going to hit up some obstacles. The path might be not fully clean or clear or shiny and bright, you know, it might be a mess, but you're going to get to where you need to go. So you have to get out of your comfort zone. So your challenge basically, I think, is to do the things that are better for you confidently. And even if you don't exactly know how it's going to end, where you're going exactly, you just have to trust that you're going in a better direction. And just make sure through this that you are keeping your self and your sanity. You remind yourself of those things, you know, keeping them, I guess, I don't want to say in line, but putting that first, you know. Now, for what's recommended for you regarding this, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Pentacles. So I really feel like the Wheel of Fortune is saying that your fortunes are going to be changing. I think certain things that are good for you will be coming in, but this is always a reminder that sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You know, sometimes it's just things happen. Life is cyclical. Happiness and sadness is cyclical. So if you're having a little moment currently, your things will change. So always remind yourself that you won't stay in this misery, this suffering, this pestilence forever. Things are going to shift out. You know, it'll change. Maybe if this represents a family or somebody, you know, romantically or whatever for you, bad times happen, good times happen. So maybe this could be a situation where you can reconcile and come back a little healthier with the relationship, because I always like to think positive. I always like to think that, you know, not everything is always set in stone, and everybody's situation is obviously a little different. But some of you, it might be in your better interest or your best interest to kind of move forward, and if it works again in the future, you know, maybe revisit it at a later date. But I think you definitely have to work on yourself. The Queen of Pentacles, what's recommended is also she's very self-sufficient. She's very practical. She's very resourceful. Like, she's able to kind of, I don't want to say stand on her own, but she's not afraid of standing on her own. And I kind of get that for you, especially because the Nine of Pentacles is here in reverse. I feel like some of you might be a little afraid to, for however this represents for you, to kind of be on your own a little bit. You know, it doesn't need to be like a financial thing or an independence thing. It could just be even, you might have had a friend group or something like that, and you're realizing that maybe you guys aren't just really on the same page anymore. Maybe it's a little messy over there, and you kind of want to go to something a little calmer, a little bit more sane. And it would be recommended for you just to not be afraid to take that leap of faith in a way. Trust your intuition, you know, do what's best for you, and your spiritual or self, your sanity, and kind of just branch out maybe a little bit more independently on something. I know, Jesse. I know, honey. Sorry, he's growling. At what he's growling, he's growling at absolutely nothing. So, but yeah, so let's see what else we get with the other cards. Okay, first up we have Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. And I think this is saying if you're feeling a little lonely, or you're feeling like you don't, I don't say not that you can't stand on your own, but maybe you're kind of missing something. You're feeling that, you're starting over to a certain degree. I think this is saying that you're not alone. Spirit has your back. I do think good things are coming in for you, and I think it's recommended for you to stay positive and acknowledge that good things are coming in for you while acknowledging that, things are cyclical. Sometimes things are good, sometimes they're not. But I think you kind of being a little bit more resourceful, a little more independent, maybe getting yourself out there a little bit more in certain things could be very, very beneficial. And just know that, you are protected. Spirit has your back. Spirit knows that you're not happy or pissy or whatever this is going on. They know everything. Okay. They are your best friends because they know they're here with you. So just think that even if you need to talk to somebody, even if you just talk to Spirit or just talk to yourself, if you need to get something out and you feel like you can't tell anybody or you're just upset about something and you have to say it any kind of way, you could just say it to yourself or just talk to a plant or something. Be in your house talking to something random and just let them know. Like if you have your favorite teddy bear or whatever, it doesn't even matter. You could talk to the dishwasher. But sometimes even just talking it out or telling your side or your perspective to even nothing, nobody's going to judge you, but it could be helpful to kind of get some of this, I think because there's a lot of internal mess, get some of your feelings or whatever out, and then it's going to be helping you kind of process and move forward a little bit. And sometimes when you feel silly, it kind of makes you laugh a little bit too, especially if you're confiding in all your deepest, darkest secrets to your dishwasher. So, okay, now we have, and that's number 23, just in case anybody needed the number. You have fluorite, find peace within. And I think this is definitely important because this Four of Swords, I think you're really focusing, overthinking a little bit about what this is, and I think you might be reminiscing a little bit on some of the fun times you had, the relationship in general or the situationship in general, and I think you will be finding the inner peace because the Nine of Swords, I really feel like you're going to be kind of being a little bit more practical about this coming in, a little bit more balanced in a way. But that's going to be important to start that kind of healing process as well. Now you have the Phoenix, new phases, rekindled, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. Now, like I said, I think some of you, if this is a bump in the road, and if this is something, I feel like it might have been going on, but for some of you, this might be almost like a transformative experience within the friendship or relationship where you guys kind of maybe can rekindle or let bygones be bygones and kind of restart it in a different way, in more of like, I don't want to say an adult way, but maybe a healthier way. So in a way that could be like rekindling and renewing. But I do think for others, this might be, I'm not saying it's the final straw or the final nail in the coffin, but I think it's kind of like you're transforming and this is not going back to the way it has been. And you're kind of, I really feel like some of you, this person still could be in your life, but I think you're moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like you're moving forward mentally, you're transforming your mind, you're being real with the situation. You're kind of seeing it from what it is now, and you're kind of deciding like, okay, this is what it is. This is going to be the way it is. This is as good as it's going to get. This is as good as it's ever going to get. And is this really what is in my best interest? Is this what I want for my future? You might be kind of, growing beyond that yourself, I should say, and spiritually and, Okay, so it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And I think this is saying just be open to the next situationship, like relationship, friendship, situation. Just don't let this taint the way you perceive other relationships or potential friendships or whatever kind of ships. Like, I think it's safe for you to kind of open your heart again and realize that good things are coming to you. Definitely with the Wheel of Fortune, I think things are coming to you very positive. So just be open for that. But I think this is also saying, don't let yourself get like almost like swept up in like messes again. You know what I'm saying? So, and now we have third eye chakra, destiny. Follow your instincts. They lead to the truth. And I feel like this is really with the whole High Priestess, with the intuition and everything. And I definitely think you're moving, because the Wheel of Fortune could be about destiny as well. So maybe whatever this is, I don't want to say maybe it was meant to be this way. Maybe this is because even with the Judgment here, this is about like learning lessons as well, So this could be something that you needed to learn, or something that you're almost like transforming the way you go about things into be more of a productive way or a healthier way. So now you had a bunch of these that came out, but they all seem very important. Wisdom. To focus on the past is to lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. And I definitely think, I really feel like you've gained some kind of wisdom with this situation. Whatever this is, there is some type of wisdom. And this could even be saying that as you move, if this is an ongoing situationship that you've been dealing with for a long time, and it's kind of been a little bit like up and down type of thing, because I kind of feel like that for this. And you might still have to deal with it in the future, but I think now all that you have learned, all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, you now have gained the wisdom, and you probably are starting to see this a little bit clearer for what in the hell it is. And sometimes when we take off those rose-colored glasses and we're like, okay, this is what this has been this whole time. What have I thought? I thought this was one way, and now I see it all. I see it all. That helps you make more sound decisions. It helps you be a little bit more analytical. It helps you be able to not get swept up into it. It helps you kind of take that Six of Pentacles approach where it's like, okay, do I feel like dealing with this BS today? Yeah, maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is a better day for me to allocate 20 minutes for this crap, and so I think you might be gaining the wisdom of realizing this for whatever this is. Now, you have travel. Long distance communication will open up your life. Exciting experiences for singles and career advancements for others. And I feel like this is kind of you getting a little bit out of your comfort zone with the Chariot, maybe kind of being open to, I don't say being independent, but when I say independent, I don't mean financially. I kind of feel like this is a little bit more of like a friend group or a like a community type of group, your community. Independence. So I mean it like there might have been somebody that you kind of thought was your ride or die, and they're really not. And now you have to kind of branch out to maybe making new friends or finding a new community that you can kind of like click with or whatever, or something within your realm which you need to be open up to exploring something else. And I think that's going to be very good for you. I think it's going to broaden your horizons a little bit too. Now you have friendship. A friend needs your help. Your kindness and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track. Now, here's the thing. For some of you, like I said, this could be that you might be in the process of a reconciliation, or you might be kind of working it out, or but I think within that, both parties have to meet halfway. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think for some of you, you're going to maybe kind of have that a little bit, but for others, I think you're kind of like, you tried and you're like, yeah, this is the same crap again. But I do think that this is saying, this is going with the open your heart here, it's safe to love. I think this is saying you're entering almost like a new phase here, even with the Phoenix. Don't close yourself off to other people, don't close yourself off to other situations, because I do think this is saying that you are actually going to be finding like friendships and everything maybe in the next phase that you're doing, or whatever you're doing kind of next, almost, you're going to be finding good people. So that's great. Now we have personal riches. Small successes are likely now, and bigger ones are on the way. Finances could improve dramatically, but avoid get rich schemes. Now I feel like that's with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune here is recommended. And I definitely think that whatever your fortunes are changing, you could be feeling like you're in a little bit of a low time, but I think things are changing, and I think things are going to be coming in for you that will be, it could be financial stuff, but it also could be, sometimes success is also just like the feeling of happiness, the feeling of finding good people in your life, the feeling of enjoying like a hobby or whatever it is. That could make you feel successful. It could make you feel rich. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just financial. It could be whatever really makes you happy, So I definitely think things are coming in that will just give you that feeling of success and accomplishment. Now you have outer space. Take the time to heal, grow, and expand. And I think this is saying get out of your comfort zone, because we have, friendships here, you travel, everything, opening your heart, new phase. I think it's just saying get out of your comfort zone a little bit, see what's beyond your current this. I think you are going to be surprised that there's going to be very good things beyond this. Now you have the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. And I feel like you are going through a little bit of a dark night with this, or you had been. But I think coming from this, I feel like your fortunes are changing a little bit. And I think you're going to find some beautiful stars that are going to be very good for you. So, and this will not be in vain. This was maybe like a wisdom learning type of situation. And even if you learn about yourself or whatever it is, I think it's going to actually kind of, I feel like some of you are realizing your self-worth. I think that's what I mean. I think some of you are starting to realize like you can't let people or situations kind of mess around with you like this. And you're kind of almost like learning or realizing like you deserve better. Take that how that works. Now you have slow the duck down. Take a hint from a sloth. And I think this is definitely going with the Four of Swords right here, because to me this is like too much thinking, too much kind of worrying, being overly active in a certain situation, maybe trying to fix something, but just being a little too much. It's like almost like worrying you or stressing you out a little bit. You're not taking a rest. So you need to slow down a little bit. Now, Bob Ross has to say, life is life. It's interesting. It's fun. And this is just saying that, you know what? Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad type of thing. With the Wheel of Fortune, sometimes we have good fortune. Sometimes it's a disaster. But at the end of the day, I guess don't take it too seriously. Now, for your little affirmation card, we have, today I feel optimistic. Today I will see the beauty and goodness in the hearts of every person I interact with. And this is beautiful because I feel like for some of you, whatever this situation is, I don't want to say it's going to leave you cold. It's going to leave you barren. It's going to leave you jaded. No, I don't think that. But I think that it's been a little bit of a hit. And I think this is saying that just go forward, open heart, still have faith that you're going to find or have successful resolution, or successful new things coming in that are going to be much better for you. Now you had two of these. First up, we had understanding, objective, getting to the core. Are you holding yourself back from doing something you've loved to do? Let me read that again. Are you holding yourself back from doing something you would love to do? Notice the stories you're telling yourself and try to understand them more. Are they true? Are they realistic? Is there another story you could tell yourself which might inspire, encourage, or support you? And this is extremely important because I think what's going on here is exactly what this is talking about. This situation might be holding you back mentally in a certain kind of while. It may be making you feel like you're a little bit boxed in. It might be making you feel a certain kind of way. And I think that a lot of this is in your head. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm not saying that. But I think sometimes these things almost like box us in and they make us feel really confined, where we're not really, really confined. You have other options. You just need to kind of be willing to explore the other options, There's so many people on this earth. There's like a lot of people on this earth. I can't remember how many, but it's a shit ton of people on this earth, You're going to find another friend. If this is a friend or a relationship or whatever shit, even if it's a business, job, whatever, there's a lot, Sometimes things are how they are, whatever, but it'll be okay. Now we have water. Focusing on your thoughts. Spend some time near water and watch it. Water can have a relaxing, meditative quality and can help us quieten our thoughts and be more mindful. Visit the beach, a river, a lake, or a creek and notice the movement, sound, and flow of the water. Tip. Look at Google Maps and you might be surprised to discover bodies of water nearby, which you didn't even know existed. Now, I definitely think that you could watch the water, or you could even just go on YouTube and like watch somebody surfing or something, or even just listen to water off of YouTube if you don't have like water near you or you don't want to go outside or whatever. But I definitely think this is just saying that to be present and maybe focus on something to help you relax a little bit that's like not this, you know what I'm saying, like not whatever's going on here. Now for the spirit of the dish that shall be with you regarding this mess or during this mess, you have the spirit of the duo. Now I really feel like this one is having a message, because if you think that you might feel like whoever this person, place, or thing could have been like you know how they say like the peanut butter and jelly thing? It's like, I'm their peanut butter, they're my jelly. Like you guys are together, like peanut butter and jelly. I don't know if you guys ever heard that, but you might felt like this was your like jelly or your peanut butter. Like you guys were like always together. You guys were tight like that. If this is a person, it could be a situation or whatever, like something that you felt really connected to. Like this was your other half. Like you were dependent on it. Like you both had that kind of like that vibe going with whatever it is. And I think this is saying that there's many different types of jellies out there. There's many different types of peanut butters. So just don't think that whatever this was the only your other half. Like there's preserves, you got different flavors, you got jellies, jams, you got different kind of peanut butter-ishes things, you got almond butter, all these kind of butters. everything. So there's like a different thing. You can make the sandwich any kind of way, you know? So you'll find another half of your sandwich. The other half of your sandwich is out there somewhere. Maybe this is not quite the right half now. Maybe it could still be the right half, just depending on how things go in the future. But I just think that this is saying, don't forget that there's many varieties when it comes to the peanut butter and jelly. Okay. Now, for your dinner and a movie, we have action films and Italian food. For the energies that you either need to be aware of or tap into, we have a Virgo here. And now Virgo is very detail orientated. I think they're very analytical. I think they're very clever. They're very organized as well. So I feel like you might have to be a little bit organized, a little bit, maybe see things a little bit analytically. I don't want to say detached, but I kind of feel like it's an energy of, you know, seeing a situation and being able to kind of review it. I don't want to say a little bit more detached, but you might have to kind of review the details, review the case file in a way, you know, review the good, the bad, and kind of see it from a little bit of a non-emotional participant type of vibe with this. You know, you might have to be like, okay, let me take a step back, let me look at this, kind of try to be a little bit more clearly and logical about this, and let's see how this looks. And you also have Pisces, and Pisces is all about like your intuition. They're very dreamy. They're very intuitive and everything. So I think that this is like, you have to kind of like, and you know what, honestly, Pisces, it could have a little bit of manipulation as well. But so this person might be trying to be a little manipulative if this is a person or situation or whatever. But I would say then just be aware of that, you know, take that into account. But I think this is also saying like, be aware of what you want, like your dreams. You know, is this really making you happy? You know, what would make you happy? And maybe start kind of dreaming or thinking about the things that you desire in another situation or the next situation with whatever this represents with you, and just kind of have that like in your head, you know? And you also have here, you have the South Node, which represents things that you need to release. So I feel like some of you, like I said before, this is something that you might not be fully getting rid of it, but I think you need to get rid of certain attachments and ideas of how it was supposed to be. I think that's what you might need to release. Like, you might not ever fully get rid of this situation, person, place, or thing, but I think you're transforming the way you are in the situation and how you are to the situation. And there might be some ideas that could be long held about, you know, going into the nursing home together type of kind of stuff, you know, that you might be like, you know, now I don't really know if that's going to be us. Like, I don't know if they're really the right jelly for my peanut butter here. You know what I'm saying? So, it might be stuff like that, certain things that you need to release that were never really going to work out to begin with type of thing. And we also have Neptune, and this is about vision, creativity, and illusion as well. So this is also kind of like Pisces energy. So it could be about kind of like really having the vision of what you want, you know, but being aware of any illusions, because sometimes we place these illusions on ourselves as well, you know. Like I said, you could have been having a thought that this is the way it's going to be with this situation, and now it's really never going to be that way, unfortunately. And you just, sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. You also have the 7th house, which is the house of partnerships, marriage, friendships, and legal proceedings. And I do feel for a lot of you, this is some kind of, it's a ship, it's some type of ship, and not the one that sails. And you have the 8th house here, and you have, this is about change, transformation, debt, and secrets. So it could be about like you transforming yourself and having to kind of move on a little bit forward and everything. And now you have number 1, which is an odd number. So that means the special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Aries, will be the Magic 8 Ball. Think of those questions. They'll be out here shortly. E, I, Y, R, G, H, P, B, 461. Oh, you know what? These two kind of jumped out. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So you got the clock here. You got the clock here and you got the leaves. So I think this is saying either time heals all, take time, or it's time, you know? So I think it's something that maybe you've put a lot of time into the situation and you're kind of realizing that, that kind of feeling a little bit. But I think within time you are going to gain more clarity. And I just think you're making changes. And sometimes time transforms us as well. So I think there's a lot of transformation kind of going on here. And the leaf is about sometimes shedding things. Sometimes things grow and then they kind of fall away. So this situation might be something that it's time to kind of like let go of for some of you, unfortunately. But fortunately, I do think other things are coming in for you, and I just think you need to be open for that. But take that how that resonates for you guys. And now we have these two. They stuck in my hand. So you have joy and dream. And I think this is saying allow yourself to kind of dream about what you want next, and go after your dreams. And feel joy. Like at this moment, if you're not feeling happy about something, I'm telling you right now, every single person has something going on for them right this second, guys, that you could be proud of and that you could be happy about. Even if you don't want to see it, there's something you could be like, okay, well today, it was sunny outside or something. It was warm. It was nice. Today, like, even if it's like today my car started without any problems, like that's excellent. You could see the joy and be happy about something for every single day. So, okay, now it is time. Think of those questions, Aries, and we shall ask. I was going to call him Mr. Predicto, which he gets really mad when I do that. So, okay, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm having a moment, buds. Okay, no hard feelings. These two, it's rough between them. Okay, here we go. We're asking the Magic 8 Ball. Oh, mystical magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Aries' question? It says, ask again later. Guys, I'm sorry. I think I pissed him off. See, yeah. That was probably my fault because I kind of like started off as Mr. Predicto and sorry about that, guys. So it was my fault, but you know what? He is what he is, and sometimes he gets like, yeah, these guys, these celebrity kind of people, they get, you can't deal with them sometimes. They are how they are. Anyway, at the end of the day, the Magic 8 Ball has spoken, and we have to respect his pissiness on this day. But, okay, I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.